Welcome to my Hebrew channel, Mila Braika. I'm looking at a very interesting phrase today, an affirmation on the part of Jesus the Messiah in John chapter 8, Gospel of John, when Jesus says, I am the light of the world. Wow, that's quite an affirmation, quite a statement. Lots of power, lots of interesting information behind that. But where does it come from? Why would Jesus say that? What does it mean for us? All the good questions, and we look to the Old Testament for the answers. So we'll do a little survey of a few texts, a few passages of the Old Testament to tell us how Jesus or why Jesus would say, I am the light of the world. We'll start with the one who makes all light. God said, let there be light, and there was light. Wow. What a statement. Vayomer Elohim yehi or vahi or. This is let there be light. This is the verb to be light, or vahi, and then there was light. Okay, so this is hortatory, and this one's history, and basically the same verb, but this one has a sense of something that has happened because of the vav. So it's a narration then, or it's a sequence then. So vahi or. Yeah. So Yehi or Vahi or. So let there be light. Light then is or. Okay, that's we're going to be following this little statement or this phrase through our study. Now in 2 Samuel 23:3, the God of Israel spoke to me. The Rock of Israel said, "The one who rules the people with justice, who rules in the fear of God." And then we'll go on to verse 4 in the next slide, because that's where we're heading for the statement of light, of or. But we'll first of all cover the statements here of the God of Israel. So, Amar Elohe Israel, li, to me, Dibar Shur Israel. So he said, that is the God of Israel, said to me, third person verb here. And this one's the Kal. And then Diber Shur Israel. This is the rock. This is the solid rock. This is the one that's tied very closely into the ground. There's in Hebrew, you have a difference between a Shur, and this is the rock that Moses would strike to get water. So, and there's even a town called Beit Shur. So Diber Shur Israel, the rock, the solid rock of Israel, referencing back to Jehovah. Moshel Adam, Sadiq, okay, who rules. This one's Moshel. Here's the same Mashal as we see in Micah 5, which is a prophecy for Jesus. So Moshel, Ba'adam, in man or mankind. Sadiq, righteousness. Moshel Yirat Elohim, ruling through the fear of God. So this one here is a noun. Construct noun, obviously derived from the verb yarach, yod resh aleph, but here the fear of God. Fear of God is not a fear that leaves you trembling or fearful. It's a fear that builds respect in the person. So it's a respectful type fear, and the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. We find that constantly in the book of Proverbs. So that's how wisdom is also defined, through the fear of the Lord. And this moshal, I put the moshal over here. Moshal, we see that twice in the previous verse, verse 3. This moshal, keor, is as the light. Okay, or right here, keor boker, of the morning. Zera shemesh. Zera are the rays. Okay, zera. That's how it spreads on. This is why I have a little diagram here of all the rays of the sun. Okay, these are the zera. Okay, it's shining out. Okay, some of the translations we're going to get to are going to cover this aspect of the light. So zera shemesh, boker, of the morning. Incidentally, notice the boker here has a mil el accenting. So when you get mil el accenting, you have the morning. When you, in this particular root, bet kof resh, when you have a mil ra accent, you have cattle. So it's it's one of those places where accenting does help you a whole lot as to seeing the difference between the meaning of either one of these. Same root. If it goes milel, look for the morning. If it goes mil ra, look for cattle. So very simple a very simplistic description of how this root works. Okay, aboker lo, not abot, with no clouds. Okay, incidentally, it's very easy to confuse with, and it sounds the same as abot. I like this sort of push this one into a gao. A gao is an ayin with a little g pushed to it. Okay, so gao bot, gao bot. If you have an alphabet in the fathers, okay, but this is clouds. Okay, avot, the clouds, plural, feminine plural here, of clouds. And mi noge has the brightness. Mi matar, okay, from the rain. My mnemonic for this matar is meteorology, okay, mitar, okay. Probably is the same root somewhere way back, but matar, okay, mi matar, from the meteorology, from the rain. Deshet, on the grass, okay, the green grass, the growing grass. Me'aretz, from the ground, from the earth. Okay, so very beautiful picture of when rain falls on the grass, it shines. Okay, it's just as bright as it gives you a sense of new life and things coming forward. A beautiful imagery here of the Moshe. Okay, it's the God of Israel. He shines out over his creation. The people walking in darkness. Now we're getting up to Isaiah 9, verse 2, very much prophecy of the coming Messiah, of the child that will be born, the child that is born. And we begin by looking at it as a light shining in darkness. Okay, the people walking in darkness see a bright light, or gadol. Light shines on them, on those who live in a land of deep darkness. And this is, Shel Mavet. Okay, so. Ha'am, the people, holachim, walking. This is very much a participial plural right here, with a nice article in front of it. Ha'holachim, walking, the ones walking. Bahoshek, in the darkness. Reu, or have seen a light. Okay, again, it's a plural here again, also on this particular root of Reu. This resh aleph hey has dropped off the root, and we have in its place surik, so this is the third person plural. Ru, or see a light, gadol, a big light, big shining light, bright light shining over them. Yoshbe, okay, the ones dwelling, living in. Incidentally, these are both participles, but this one's a construct participle. Okay, Yoshbe, okay. Plural construct participle with the setic yod ending this construct, but it's a construct plural of participle. Ba'aretz, those living in the land. In other words, these walking and the living are very much parallel structures right here. So Yeshbe, Ba'aretz, in the land. Shal Mavet. This is a combined word that you even see it in Psalm 23, the Valley of Shadow of Death. Ge Shel Mavet. Here it says Shal Mavet. Shal is the shadow, Mavet is death. Okay, so but it's already way back when, even during the time the Bible was being written, those two independent words are put together into a single word. So in Hebrew, it works as a single word. The shadow of death. Okay, shadow of death, and means a very deep, profound darkness, scary place. Okay, so Shal Mavet, or so those walking in the land of the shadow of death, or a light. Here it is, a light. Nega, shines, okay, shines out. Alechem, over them, okay. Wow, beautiful picture of what the Lord does for his people. And this incidentally is used very much in the book of Matthew to describe the context and the place and how the ministry of Jesus began. And so we're going to look into that a little bit more detail and get a chance to compare some of the ancient translations here, because it's a very interesting study as to how this passage is understood, both in its ancient context out there with Isaiah, and incidentally for Isaiah, very much a prophecy, okay? And when you get to Matthew, very much a history, very much a description of what happened when Jesus came to the world. So, and that difference will show up in the way this particular passage is translated, both in the Septuagint, that is the original Greek translation that the Jews made at Alexandria 200 years before Christ. So in other words, there was a translation made of this into Greek. And then later on, when Matthew and the Gospels quite often will quote the Septuagint very closely, word for word, but sometimes they'll make some adaptations, and we'll take a look at some of that. Here it is. Okay, this is then the Hebrew we're working with out of Isaiah 9 verse 2. Am Halohim v'choshek ra'u or gadol yoshbe ba'aretz shermavet or naga alechem. The Septuagint goes, the people who are walking in darkness have seen or see the light, fos gadol. Fos gadol, it carries through on both sides. Hokatoi kontos, those who living, oshbe, this is katoi kontes, in chora, in the land, chora. Scotia thanato, okay, the shadow of death. Fos lamfe ef ochimas, the light will shine upon them, okay, lamfe, there will be a lamp on them, okay. This is translation here of naga. This is a Septuagint, done 200 years before Christ, and some of the elements carry through exactly into Matthew, and we know it is the same passage, but there's some differences here, some interesting differences. Laos is still the same. Now we have pro amones, the ones walking, and this one's dwelling. Okay, so what happened is the Yoshbe carried back into, instead of them walking in the darkness, they are living in the darkness. Okay, so the Greek here actually harmonizes this one and this one. Okay, it puts these two to say, takes this one and actually applies it to that one. So the ones dwelling in darkness, Bishkotia, in Skote, here's this in Skote, same thing, Skote. Edefos Maga has seen a large light, a big light. Hotois kat themenos, those living again, same thing. In Shora, in the land, Skotia Thanaton, the shadow of darkness, shadow of death. Phos Anatole autos. This is the Anatolia. If you're wondering where the word Anatolia, the section of Asia Minor comes from, it comes from this verb right here. Anatelan has dawned upon them. Okay, has dawned over them. This is shining, and this is dawned. In other words, this is regarded much more as like an event. The Lord has come. He's shining in the darkness. He's bringing a light to the darkness. A beautiful picture here of what Jesus did. So this is very much a prophecy. This is very much an accomplished event, very much something that has happened, and Matthew is now describing to us. It's the way he translates the Hebrew here. Might have had a chance to take a look at the original Septuagint, but it is his own translation of the original Hebrew. So, and it very much brings out what Jesus did when he came to the world. Describes it exactly: place, people, events, and so forth. This for Matthew is a history of Jesus. Then Jesus says, Jesus spoke again, saying, now this is John 8 verse 12. I am the light, ego eimi. Okay, the light. Now we have to remember, Jesus was teaching in Aramaic, so it's getting really close to where the Hebrew was, ego eimi, and this means ehye, okay, to be. This is an affirmation of being Jehovah. Okay, this is what Jehovah calls himself in Exodus 3. I am the light, okay, phos of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness. Okay, again, compared to those who were up in the Galilee walking in darkness, they will have the light of life. In other words, when we follow Jesus, we are walking in the light. So I invite you to do that. Follow in the light of Jesus. Jesus is the light of the world, and we'd have the tremendous privilege of walking in that light. So God bless, and may you walk in the light of Jesus from here on forward. May God bless you until the next time.